Rushing to plan your first ever trip overseas since the start of the pandemic that basically killed all holidays over the last 2 years? Yup, we thought so. But how much more is it going to cost now that travel lanes have opened up and prices have started to rise? Here's a guide to help you figure out the travel budget you need to prepare. Will it be more expensive now to travel to your favorite destination? Let's lay down the numbers. These are the 4 main expenses you need to consider when traveling in this new world. Flight costs, accommodation costs, travel insurance costs, PCR tests. In this COVID-19 era, getting travel insurance is even more crucial because it will save you a lot of hassle and money in case of any flight or accommodation cancellations, whether it's due to COVID-19 or not. If you're planning a trip to Germany, Korea, or the United Kingdom, you may need to blow a bit more cash. Plus, you won't be able to choose the cheapest return flight because you need to make sure that the flight going back to Singapore is part of the Vaccinated Travel Lane Arrangement, aka the VTL. In terms of accommodation, the average daily rates of hotels after COVID-19 are slightly lower compared to rates from previous years, so hooray! For now. How about travel insurance? While it's quite challenging to dig up historical rates on travel insurance, you should note that coverage against the bug is now usually an add-on to your basic policy. Right now, the most comprehensive plans provide coverage pre, post, and even during your trip, and that should be the kind of insurance you get. Different insurers may offer a combination of these elements, so pay attention to what you're covered for. Here's how much COVID-19 coverage costs are depending on where you plan to go. Now let's talk about PCR tests and how much you need to pay a nurse to jam a little stick up your nose. Inbound travelers are required to do 2 PCR tests, 1 pre-departure test and 1 on-arrival test. Prepare to set aside around 320 to 640 Singapore dollars for this new travel requirement. So how much does everything add up to? If you're keen to visit the UK, for example, you'll need around 4,500 Singapore dollars for your flight, accommodation, travel insurance, and PCR tests. Of course, this is relevant at the time this video was made, but yeah, that's pretty expensive. Do note that these are average and ballpark figures, which may be significantly different depending on the destination, the situation, and time of booking. You'll also need to factor in food, transport, and other daily expenses, but I'm sure you already knew that. We hope this quick rundown will help you get a better sense of how much your first ever VTL trip is going to cost you. And with that, happy travels everyone, and stay safe.